think that the gays love you. Like, I think it's a lot of boys. There's
It
out
is.
there. They just are wild for you.
You
Tell
know.
us how you became.
Fashion idol. Come on.
Why do you think the LGBTQ crowd gravitates toward you so much? It's like there's a whole wave of people out there who are completely drawn to you, almost obsessed. So how did that even start? Who inspired your style? Because clearly, something about you stands out in a major way. Now everyone's making a huge fuss about Jules hosting his very first LGBTQ nightclub event in Atlanta, and honestly, the reaction feels over the top. People.
So I guess everybody making it a big deal that Jules is hosting his first LGBTQ nightclub event in Atlanta. And I don't know why y'all acting like this is a Trump rally or something. Y'all acting like it's crazy in the sky.
And why is Solange's son Jules Smith?
People are acting like it's some massive political rally instead of just an event. And then there's Jules Smith popping up in GQ France looking bold, flashy, and completely different from what people expected. Social media has been going in, questioning his image and asking what direction he's really heading in. Some are even saying he looks lost or like he's trying too hard to reinvent himself.
Smith up in GQ France looking fruit rolled up and freaked out. Yes, I said what I said. Jules, where is your wig? It's giving lost and turned out. And honestly, I hate this for him. Y'all are going to learn Hollywood and the industry as...
And not everyone is here for it. But this situation is opening up a bigger conversation. A lot of people are starting to realize that the entertainment industry isn't as glamorous as it looks on the surface. It can be complicated, intense, and sometimes even dark behind the scenes. And now, with everything unfolding, it seems like the rumors that have been floating around for years might actually have some truth to them. Jules, known as Beyoncé's nephew,
as a whole, is just a really...
What's so ironic is at my shows, about 60% of them are gay men. And I just feel so at home with them because I feel like...
He's now openly embraced his identity, stepping into his truth without hesitation. For a long time, conversations about his personal life have been circulating quietly in the background, with many people speculating about who he's really attracted to. Rumors suggesting that he might be into men didn't just appear overnight.
With that community, I'm able to embrace exactly who I am, and there's no judgments. And I feel like that has a lot to do with it. You know, sometimes I meet some of the most expressive people visually.
They've been building for years, fueled by subtle moments, online behavior, and public incidents that left people questioning things. At one point, the situation with Sky Jackson became a major talking point, with some claiming that their fallout wasn't just about relationship drama, but possibly connected to him living a hidden side of his life. Back then, most people brushed those claims off as gossip with no real evidence. It sounded like typical internet chatter.
Through the mind and through how they speak. And I just totally feel at home, like I can do whatever, say whatever.
Loud, messy, and unverified. But now, with everything that's been unfolding recently, those same rumors are being revisited in a completely different light. People who once dismissed those claims are now going back and reanalyzing old situations, connecting dots they may have ignored before. Moments that didn't seem important at the time are suddenly being viewed as potential clues. Social media has played a huge role in this shift, with users digging up past clips, screenshots, and stories, trying to piece together a clearer picture of what might have really been going on behind the scenes. And while nothing has been definitively proven, the growing pattern has made it harder for many to simply ignore. But the speculation didn't stop with just one situation. Over time, additional allegations began to surface, this time involving claims that he had been linked to trans women. These accusations added another layer to the already complicated narrative surrounding him. At the time, he strongly denied everything, shutting down the rumors and making it clear that he didn't agree with what was being said about him. His response was firm, and for a while, it seemed like that would be the end of it. However, as new developments continue to emerge, those past allegations are once again being brought back into the conversation. People are now questioning whether there may have been more truth to those claims than they initially believed. It's not just about what was said, it's about the consistency of the rumors and how often similar stories seem to resurface. For many observers, that repetition raises eyebrows and keeps the discussion alive. At the center of all this attention is also the noticeable silence that once surrounded the situation, especially from his mother, Solange. When everything first started unfolding, she chose not to say anything publicly. Despite the growing noise online, the backlash, and the constant speculation, she remained completely quiet. No statements, no clarifications, no defense, nothing. That silence left a lot of people wondering what her true thoughts were. Some believed she was protecting her son by staying out of it, while others thought her silence might have meant something deeper. Now, that silence has finally been broken. Solange has reportedly spoken out, and her response has caught a lot of people off guard, not because it was negative, but because of how supportive she appears to be. According to what's being said, she's standing by her son fully, regardless of the rumors, the criticism, or the direction he chooses to take in his life. Whether it's about his identity, his choices, or his connection to the LGBTQ+ community, she seems to be embracing him without hesitation. For many, this reaction makes perfect sense. Solange has always been known for her openness, her individuality, and her support for self-expression. She's never been someone who conforms to expectations, so her backing her son during a moment like this aligns with the image people already have of her. Still, the timing of her speaking out has added even more fuel to the ongoing conversation. Now, with her voice finally entering the narrative, people are paying even closer attention. Some see her support as confirmation that Jules is stepping into his truth, while others believe it's simply a mother standing by her child no matter what. Either way, her response has shifted the energy around the situation, making it clear that this isn't something that's going away anytime soon. At this point, the entire situation has evolved far beyond simple rumors. It's become a layered discussion involving identity, past behavior, public perception, and family support. And as more pieces continue to surface, one thing is certain: people aren't done talking about it yet. What makes this even more intriguing is that the speculation didn't just start recently. People have been questioning Jules' sexuality as far back as 2020. During one Instagram live session, a fan directly asked him if he was gay. Jules chose not to respond, but someone else in the live jumped in and made the situation even more intense, accusing him outright and even claiming he was involved with Nicki Minaj's hairstylist, arrogant TAY.at the time. It all felt like rumors spiraling out of control. But now, with everything coming full circle, people are starting to connect the dots, and the conversation is louder than ever. People started saying he was involved with arrogant Tay, Nicki's hairstylist, and that's when Jules finally addressed everything directly, shutting it down by saying, "Why do people keep calling me gay? I'm not." You'd think that would have put all the rumors to rest, especially since he clearly denied it. But things didn't die down for long. Fast forward to last year, and the conversation sparked up all over again, this time in a much louder way. A well-known Atlanta-based trans influencer, Brazy, came forward claiming that Jules had been in her DMs, allegedly trying to fly her out for a private meetup. She even dropped supposed screenshots of their conversation, and let's just say, those messages had people talking. According to what was shared, Jules was complimenting her, calling her his type, and confidently suggesting he could handle things behind closed doors. Now here's where it gets interesting. Jules never publicly addressed those screenshots. Instead, reports started circulating that he handled things behind the scenes by having his legal team step in, sending a cease notice to shut it down. Some people questioned whether Brazy had even told him she was trans, but at this point, many feel like that detail doesn't even change the bigger picture. Then, just days ago, things took another turn when it was announced that Jules would be hosting a gay nightclub event. And that sent social media into a frenzy. Reactions were mixed, but one thing was clear: people had a lot to say. Meanwhile, Jules didn't seem bothered at all. In fact, before the official announcement even dropped, he had already tweeted about how excited he was, hyping up the event and promising it would be lit when he hit Atlanta. But for many, the side eye isn't just about him hosting a gay club. It's also tied to his past behavior, especially how he's treated women he's been involved with. Critics point out that there seems to be a pattern, and that's only fueling more speculation. Back in 2021, Jules made headlines for all the wrong reasons after an intimate video involving him and Sky Jackson was allegedly shared in a private group chat. Even though the full clip was eventually taken down, parts of it reportedly continued circulating online. In those clips, Jules could be heard in the background while Sky appeared on camera, reacting and trying to hide her face. As if that wasn't enough, leaked messages from that same group chat added even more fuel to the fire. In those messages, Jules was allegedly speaking very casually and even boastfully about the situation. He claimed he had gotten Sky deeply attached to him before ending things, accusing her of cheating. At one point, he reportedly said something along the lines of getting her hooked and then walking away, calling the whole situation complicated. One of his friends even asked why the relationship ended, and his response was simple. He said she cheated. But with everything that's come out, people aren't just focusing on what he said, they're questioning the entire pattern behind his actions. Another friend jumped into the conversation, confused, asking why Sky was online telling people to stay away from Libra men if she was the one who cheated. Jules didn't hesitate with his response. He coldly replied that he made sure to completely destroy her life. That alone showed he had zero remorse, proudly bragging about the situation to his circle like it was nothing. Things escalated even further when someone from Sky's family reportedly reached out to him, warning that legal action could be taken since sharing that kind of content falls under serious violations. Instead of backing down, Jules allegedly lashed out, acting untouchable and claiming no one could take him to court because of who he was related to. When they pushed back, saying there was much more he'd done and that a judge would decide, Jules doubled down, arrogantly bringing up his connection to Beyoncé as if that would shield him from consequences, while continuing to speak in a reckless and disrespectful way. And just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any worse, it did. A well-known Instagram page, The Vault, later claimed that Jules had actually tried to get them to leak the video months before it surfaced publicly. According to them, they refused because of the legal risks involved, especially since he was underage at the time while Sky had just turned 18, making the situation extremely serious. They even hinted that this had been planned from the beginning, suggesting Jules had been trying to expose her all along, which is why they stayed close to Sky and supported her behind the scenes. But the controversy didn't stop there. Jules found himself in another storm when reports surfaced about his relationship with his now ex-girlfriend Adore. Allegedly, the two had been involved for a while, and things took a serious turn when she became pregnant. According to claims and shared messages, there had been conversations between them about starting a family, with both seemingly on the same page at one point. However, when reality hit, Jules reportedly backed out and didn't want to take responsibility. What made the situation even more shocking was his age at the time. He was only 17. In the messages she shared, she expressed excitement about having a child together, while he initially seemed to agree, even saying he wanted one too and telling her to give it some time. But when that moment actually came, everything changed, leaving people questioning his intentions and actions all over again. He even went as far as asking if she wasn't planning to take Plan B, showing just how reckless the situation had become. And if you thought things couldn't get any worse, they absolutely did. Not long after the whole Sky Jackson drama, yet another explicit video involving Jules reportedly surfaced, adding even more chaos to an already messy situation. When it comes to his mother, Solange, insiders are saying she's standing firmly by his side no matter what path he chooses. Whether it's embracing his identity or showing support for the LGBTQ+ community, she's reportedly all in. And honestly, that didn't surprise many people. Solange has always been vocal about supporting the gay community, so naturally, people expected her to extend that same love and acceptance to her own son. Interestingly, conversations about his connection to that community have been floating around for a while. Some have even pointed out how certain public figures have spoken about feeling a strong bond with LGBTQ audiences, saying they feel more accepted, more understood, and free to be themselves without judgment. That sense of comfort and openness is something many people believe could explain why Jules seems to be leaning more into that space now that, of course, social media had a lot to say, as always. Some people claimed they weren't shocked at all, saying they had suspected this for years. Others admitted they were surprised he was ever linked to Sky in the first place, because they always assumed he might be into men. The opinions are all over the place, and the debate just keeps getting louder. Now the big question everyone's asking is this: is Jules truly stepping into his truth? Or is this just a strategic move tied to attention and opportunities, especially with him hosting a gay club event? Is this about identity, or is it about business? Either way, People are watching closely. So what do you think? Is this him being real or just playing the game? Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is far from over.